Hey everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Sunless Sea. And as you can see, we are in the Fathom King's hold, the proper scene. The moment I loaded the game, it immediately did the scene change, so thankfully it's fixed. I mean, I thought so, but I was still a little bit worried that it might not work. Anyway, descend to an audience. Is that what I need to do? Hold on. You did want me to go here, didn't you? Learning about... at the Fathom King's hold. Okay. Did I miss something? Descend to an audience, prematurely, trade for drowning pearls, trade for a white molly flower, or compile a port report. Let's go with this one first, and then... I guess we'll descend. Speaking to the porter... Ah, okay, interesting. Attend the Poissonier's feast. The drowny court, soggy, chattering, hungry, populate a table of carved coral. The Poissonnier claps his hands. Your crew scurry in with steaming plates. Why exactly are we doing this? Who knows? Well, obviously we're gonna go with this. The seventh miracle. There are 7 courses, each named. It begins with the first touch on the skin. A plate of silky white flesh submerged in yellow sauce. Fresh, sharp, shocking. Next comes struggling against the current, a fierce terrain of coursing flavors. It leaves the diners watery-eyed and reaching for their wine. Before they recover, bowls of Pelagian soup are set before them. Swallowed, the Poissonnier intones. The taste is deep and rich and heavy, lining the stomach. Several drownies lift the bowls to their lips to catch the last drops. A merciful interlude follows. The surface, high above, is a mild, palate-cleansing mousse. Afterwards comes lost breath, a roulade of still wriggling tentacles. Bitter on the tongue's tip, but departing with a long, mellow aftertaste as it slides down the throat. The penultimate course, the abandonment of the self, is spun with sugar and crunchy with salt. Spherical cages of solidified syrup containing fiery sweetmeats. The filigree cracks between drowny teeth. The sweetmeats vanish down damp gullets. Last of all, the promise of what is to follow. A bruleed cream of inexplicable pungency, indescribably Moorish. The diners lean back, bloated. When their senses return, they call for the Poissonnier and congratulate him upon impeccably reproducing the sensation of drowning in culinary form. It was not drowning, the Fathom King says, his baritone rolling over the babble. It was love. He raises his glass to the Poissonnier. Okay, and thus the bandaged Poissonnier changes into the bandaged Chef Paramount. Okay. He created a feast for the Fathom King. Alright. And thus, has he been upgraded? It now gives hearts +9, pages +5, as opposed to hearts 8, pages 4, mirrors 4. I mean, I wouldn't mind a little bit more pages, but for 1 extra point, I don't know. And the Nacreous Survivor does give more points total. Oh, and he has not gained any other abilities or services or anything. He doesn't even increase hearts past 100. Kind of disappointing, to be honest, but, well, it's another story completed. So there's that. And... can we still do this? Wait. Apparently so. Huh. Ask a boon of the king. You have brought the king a story gift. You may ask a gift in return. It's impossible to know what you'll receive. Sure, let's gamble. Okay. Sea bounty. Rosy flesh, the king intones. Won from the water. Tasted in good health. He waves a gracious hand while his waters thresh. His waters? Oh yeah, he's sitting in a pool of water, right? The audience is over. As you return, crab slaves carry iceboxes filled with sweet fresh meat. Pink as dawn. Let's not ask too many questions. 5 supplies, I guess that's not useless for the long journey ahead. 5 terror, not exactly useful, but probably also not terrible. Let's not go to shore. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. We're just gonna leave this place and possibly never return. And we'll head straight on over to Port Cavendish. Yeah, let's go Port Cavendish, Port Carnelian, and then via Eagle to the other shore, which is a straight line that's somewhat efficient, I suppose. Yeah, good enough for me. And here we are, and we literally just got a new port story the moment I hit record, or resumed recording, so that worked out perfectly, in case we need it here. Let us save. Actually, I hadn't even started a new save for this episode, had I? So there we go. Port Cavendish. Invite Icery to join the 7 against Nida. Okay, the option is right there. So let's get that out of the way first, I guess. We do need the key to the cage gardens. Interesting. So, yeah, I guess we did need to pursue Icery's and the whatchamacallits, quest line. Who's the guy? The Tiger King? No, am I thinking of the wrong person here? Who's Icery working for? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Given Lorenzo's misfortune, you find yourself in need of a new guide. I mean, I wouldn't call it misfortune necessarily, but, well, he's just dead. So there's that. You broach the subject with delicacy. There's a light in Icery's eyes that you would not describe as reassuring. Icery is somewhat acquainted with Nida and the 7 from the memories of the well-traveled notary. You fill in the gaps, but leave enough unsaid to entice. Icery considers your offer carefully. I am intrigued, of course, and flattered. Who would not be? But the stakes are high, and the prey inconceivably dangerous. I am selective in my alliances, my lady. They lean back, considering you. Accept Icery's compliment and admit them into the 7. Icery's opinion of you is high. You have proven yourself exemplary. I accept. Okay. I mean, what's the... why? No more than 6? Okay, so if we had not already finished this questline, their questline, whatever, we would have to do one final thing, I suppose, to convince them. Here, Icery's proposal: if I'm to hitch my fortunes to yours, I need to know with utter surety who I'm dealing with. A mellifluous sister approaches. She carries a single lamplighter bee in a filigree cage. Okay, so it's the idea that they would have basically read my memories, tasted my memories. Okay. I guess I'm glad that that is not happening. Although presumably it would have just led to the same favorable outcome. You reminisce about your association thus far and the possibilities of your future alliance. Icery is eager to make themselves useful in the 7, to the 7. I'll begin gathering what information I can about Nida and its environs. Travelers from the Elder Continent tend to be circumspect, but my bees won't care. Leaning close, Icery kisses your cheek with unmistakable warmth. To immortality. Indeed. The 7 have found their new guide. Awesome. Well, that was every bit as successful as I could have hoped for. Roses and Kings. He spent half a day observing the docks and noted an astonishing number of and variety of ships. Yeah, okay, we've seen this multiple times before, of course. A walk in the Rose Garden. Yes. Let's see what this key actually allows us to do. The Garden of Roses and Cages. 2 mellifluous sisters unlock the gates. Your key is mostly ceremonial. Before you is a garden dipped in blood. A sea of petaled crimson. Winding paths lead to irregular rows of cages, each covered in tangles of thorn and vine. Some of the prisoners inside the cages call out to you. Others mutter to themselves or weep. A few simply stare, hopeless and silent. Talk to the lady of the gardens. Such a beautiful night. I think the roses are whispering to me. Or is it the prisoners? I lose track. She tells you that she was once a prisoner in this very garden, but that she escaped and drank down her own memories, stewed bright and honey sweet. And then I was whole again. She claps, and a laugh echoes from her twisting lips. Or maybe that was someone else. It most probably was. Don't you think? It sounds very far-fetched now that I say it out loud. A breeze lifts her gold mesh veil. There is a shadowed emptiness where her eyes should be, and livid scars all around. The sort a nectar-maddened lamplighter bee might leave when it burrowed into a brain. You shiver a little and give no answer. Gain 10 tales of terror. Yeah, I would say so. This is a pretty horrifying place. Even for the nether. No, the neath. That's what it's called. That's all for now. Maybe for the better. Okay, cool. I could resupply, but, well, I mean, looking at my supply situation, we're doing just fine. So, moving on to Port Carnelian, I guess. And hopefully we'll be able to recruit the final of the 7, right? We're only 1 member short, and it should be, I think at least, it should be the philanthropist. Lindens? Linden or Lytton? Anyway, the crystallized guy's, or coralified guy's wife. Yeah, anyway. And just like that, here we are. And immediately we are greeted with a new option here. Ambition and additional sherry with the fierce philanthropist. Right. This time the sherry is accompanied by a fruit loaf slathered with butter. Isn't that how it was before? Recruit her to the 7. Wait, what? Oh. Really? That's the only option, huh? 5 soup, 5 bales of linen. Oh, man. I mean, the linen is easy enough. That's obviously from London. But more soup? Couldn't you have told me before? I mean, I don't know who should have told me, but... that's all the way from Mount Palmerston. That's just so far away. What a waste of resources and time. I mean, I have the resources, but, you know, I'd rather not just spend 15 minutes only, you know, sailing across the map with nothing happening in between. Oh well. I mean, I guess it has to be done, but at least it seems like as soon as we come here with these items, we're gonna have her recruited. Will she assume her husband's role as the Cabal's financier? I don't know. Perhaps a donation to her charitable work would steer the conversation where you need it to go. It's unfortunate that there is not an alternative to it, because there often is, right? Some other way to handle it. And we have helped her before. We've even told her the truth about her husband. But apparently, I don't know, maybe if we hadn't told her the truth, she would be more favorable towards us or something. I don't know. Oh, Lytton it was. Okay, not Linden. When you raise the matter of your search for immortality and the involvement of Lytton, the man who shares her name, she grows thoughtful. Okay, yeah, that's just the same as before, though. Enjoy a sherry? Delicious. Okay, at least now we know. Right, and this is the other reason we wanted to come here. But before I forget, I'm going to take a note. 5 soup and 5 linen. I suppose we can take care of that particular little shopping trip as soon as we actually have the impeller. Finally managed to look up and remember the name of the engine I'm going to make. The impeller. Yes. That should hopefully speed things up and make things a little bit more efficient. So there's that at least. Visit Heartscross House. Plan for Sapphire, seek intelligence. Okay. Let's start with this. There's a hullabaloo in Murgatroyd's Imperial Tea Shop. Young adventurers celebrate an upcoming expedition. Yeah. Maybe change your plans, guys. You buy them crumpets, and they happily let you join them. You're a captain, aren't you? Asks the sailor, stealing his neighbor's crumpet. Have you ever sailed out that way? Anything you can tell us? Well, yes, in fact. Yes, you know the place. The sea is calm there. It's dark, like all the Neath, but there are lights beneath the waves, red and white distractions to keep you from noticing the explosive mines. Hulls break there. Sailors die. The adventurers fall silent. Dispirited, they head home. The next day, you're delivered a heavy purse from thankful mothers. Sometimes justice has its rewards. Nice. Well, it's only 32 echoes, but I'm always happy to help. So what is this all about? Oh, port report. Memories. The bandit prince receives you in the airy, carpeted office that was once the governor's. You recall the leaner, simpler days of the restitution committee. A footman fetches tea, his uniform splendidly striped. Striped. Okay, that's cool. The prince is happy to share news of his realm. You ask about the rival empires across the sea, the queens and the khans. Will they try to reconquer the coast? They can try, he rumbles. His teeth are still sharp. Okay. So let's seek intelligence, because we can, I guess? The dangers of success. Your late agent considers this information worth dying for. Considered this information worth dying for. Okay, yeah, we've seen this before. You blot her blood from the page and apply an old Assyrian cipher. She was not wrong. And that gives us vital intelligence, Z-story. Reduces our network strength a little bit. But we could go for another one right away. Oh, no, we can't, because plot story requirement. Right. Let's see if we can do something for them interesting. Judgment's Egg? Or Syrian Enigma? Yeah. I don't think so. Substantially. Both will increase it substantially, but we're only 1 point short, so that would be an absolute waste. So, no thanks. Maybe next time. This is cheap. Wait, no, this is not particularly cheap, but it's not nearly as expensive as it could otherwise be. It's too bad we can't sell the mountain shirt here, because I really don't actually need it for anything. Oh well. I mean, as far as I know, I don't really need more than one Solace Fruit, so I'm just gonna sell 2 of those, actually, because why not? And, might as well just pack a little bit extra fuel. Supplies should be good. Yeah. Let's actually save, though. And, up to Uttershroom via Eagle was the plan, right? I think so. And here it is. Beautiful Eagle that I don't remember really anything about. I don't think we were able to really do anything here. The last and possibly only time we've been here before. Let's see here. The station is pinned to the surface of Eagle. Okay. Eagle just being the name of the giant... Well, it really looks more like a colony of several giant sea urchins. But, I don't know. Once it was a roving vessel, the Fortis Kettle, and floated freely from place to place. Now it is stuck on spines of fluke rock. Well, yeah, fluke, not sea urchin, but, you know. Same concept, I suppose. Just different sizes. Ask the first mate for help finding the regret of the sensitive brother. Have we not done this before? Oh, I guess we still haven't done this, because I wasn't able to do anything here. Oh no! You can't be freaking serious. Sacrifice the memory of Nook. Okay, so the wiki actually told me that I would be able to use my Drowny Song and Counterpoint or whatever that I acquired in the hut here. I was thinking that that would allow me to bribe or whatever, deal with the first mate. Of course, I literally just got rid of my extra Solace Fruits. And of course I saved over the file. I mean, I can do this. Reduce your taste of freedom quality by 5? Oh. I mean, that's cool, but that's not going to help me here at all. What happens when you assemble a port report? Nothing much. God damn it. Okay, what would this do? Gratefully received. The first mate's features are softer than the average Londoner's, as though they have become part rubbery man. Their skin is marked in dozens of places with shiny calcified ovals around which the skin is reddened. You offer them the Solace Fruit and they receive it reverently. They don't eat it in front of you, but withdraw through a hatch that is usually kept locked. They are gone a long time, and far off you hear a man's deep laughter. It is a surprising sound in the whispering ship. At last the first mate returns, fingers stained. Okay. Acquaintance is now 5. Gained hospitality through a gift of Solace Fruits. We've also gained 1 first mate sensitivity, which is now 2. Okay, that did unlock something, apparently. Observe the first mate in research. The kettle was a research vessel. Now the first mate sometimes engages in research on the fluke spines that pierce the ship. Okay, and we need acquaintance 10. So we were halfway there. I mean, I was just thinking that we might be able to acquire a new solace fruit in the Mangrove College, which is not a million miles out of the way. So, I mean, not exactly on the route I was planning to go necessarily, but it's, you know, easily reachable, easily enough. So, yeah, the fact that I did spend 1 here, I guess is not terrible, not the end of the world, if we can actually make some progress now. So let's see what this leads to. A gathering of silver in the storeroom. This room is blocked by a thick spine at waist level. The spine is purple-black, but the crew have been working at it with planes, grinding away a silvery powder. The powder is collected on mats and sieved into bottles. Our export, the first mate explains. It goes to Station 3, but that is not what we've come for. The first mate touches the spine, and for a time their spirit is absent. Then, from one of their few patches of unmarked skin, they grow a needle-shaped protrusion and snap it free. A memento of what I saw when my mind was with Egil. You know, 2 times Egil, Needle of Fortis. What? Needle of Fortis, expression of the first mate's grief at exploring the bitterness of Egil. Oh, okay. And the acquaintance is now 10. Interesting. Which does allow us to do this. Ask him for help finding the regret of the sensitive brother. Right. She has set a rendezvous at Hunter's Keep. Okay then, into the Fortis Kettle. The first mate leads you through hatches usually kept locked, down to the depths of the Fortis Kettle. They begin to limp more evidently, the further you descend. At last, you come to the engine room, where a spike of Egil jabs through the hull. The engine is thoroughly destroyed. Its furnace is cold, its great wheels will never turn again. The surface of Egil is exposed to the touch. It shimmers. We make it beautiful on purpose. There's a shiny silver patch on the spike. We allow the silver to be harvested. Touch it with 1 hand. Touch your face. You're no longer standing in the engine room. The tunnel is skin-tight. You descend face first. The wall presses the back of your head, urging you downward. You should not have come. Are those whisperings of Egil? The entry point of Egil is regret. No one enters Egil without. Surface, surface. Not today. You cannot do this today. Perhaps some other time you will be ready. No, I mean, we're here now. Descend. Egil is made of needles. The inside of a needle is straight. I guess. Sharp, thirsty, dry. There is a scent of green, bitter things, of fermentation. Cactus pulp renders an acceptable wine. Someone once died in a desert, and you are traversing the cause of their death. They lived long enough to regret. Here's the memory of a dying man, seeing a vulture overhead. The sky. In occurrence, your Egil commission to retrieve a regret quality is now 20. Begun drilling for a regret. Okay. One of these things, huh? Except this one didn't cost me anything, or there doesn't seem to be a time-based mechanism here, where I can only stay for so long. The tunnel branches. We tell you which way to go, but you do not understand. Okay, 80% chance though. Deeper. You narrow your shoulders, press your toes and your knuckles into the tunnel wall, squeeze left and down through a passage lined in fragments of amber. They gather what we wish to know. Here's the smell of a cloying perfume. A woman left her husband for a scoundrel. In a few years she was poor and alone. He seemed like a good man. How could I have known? Of course she knew. Her husband offered to take her back, but she could not endure his forgiveness. We have his regrets also. He minded her absence much more than her unfaithfulness, but he could not persuade her. Okay, we succeeded. We're now at 25, whatever that means. Descend further, but only if you feel strong. From here you cannot surface until you have found what you seek. Welp. Can't be helped then. You intend to move and the tunnel moves you. Is that a success? A fresh red memory. She stood still when she wished to go. She answered questions from the man with the knife-shaped smile. She was afraid of him. She pretended his questions were questions a sociable person would ask. She was more afraid of being discourteous. He did not kill her. After, she was angry at herself anyhow for having her fears out of order. She had a new tongue installed in her mouth. In the presence of the trespassers, the new tongue says, "I dislike you, I fear you, I wish you would go," whether she bids it to or not. Okay. Only forward exists. Yep, as we have been told. Do you regret continuing? It is too late. No, it's fine. Hearts 100 failed the challenge, but I only gained 1 terror. Okay. Dry heart and dry eyes. It is so narrow in this passage that you cannot feel anything. Like a professional mourner 2 funerals from retirement. You have no true feeling remaining, and even proxy grief is hard to summon. I guess we try again. And fail again and gain 1 terror again. Ad infinitum. Hey, we succeed. A recollection the length of a hatpin. It would have been a baby. Okay. Collect what you came for. Or note the regret, but leave it here. Leave it where it lies. It is guarded by nacreous layers. This is not for you to take. Why would I not take it after making it here? When I'm on the quest? Is there any possible reason to? Anyway, will you be pierced by the brother's regret? I don't know. The secretive brother was a clerk at the Admiralty. One can regret even clerical misdeeds. He fell behind in his filing, so he burned a stack of port reports and lied when his superior asked where they were. The lie went undetected. The loss of the reports caused no great trouble. Nonetheless, the regret rankled. The brother had learned integrity from schoolboy novels. Confession offered no cure. It would not retrieve the reports. It would only disappoint the superior and open the whole department to censor. Sometimes cowardice and common sense lead to the same end. The brother's regret caused more trouble than the deed. We cured him. Have you undone the cure? Get out, you've done enough. Well, retrieve the regret. What form will you deliver it in? That's a good question. Ponder how best to deliver your message to the Imperious Sister. She should know what you have decided. I mean, that's the entire point, right? Grow the brother's regret into a spine. It's possible given certain rubbery rituals and preparations. The first mate can show you how. Eavesdrop in the kettle. Voices echo in the coppery corridors. Okay. Consume a needle of Fortas. Press the spike into your own flesh. Know what it knows. Little worse than a tattoo, surely. I don't know. Consume 3 needles of Fortas. Well, thankfully we don't have that many. 10 needles? Sacrifice in memory of... Okay, that's still the same option as before. Never mind. Well, let's start by pondering. Maybe this will tell me what my options are. There are ways to reach her. She said she'd wait for you at Hunter's Keep. She will want some kind of proof of her brother's regret. Your words alone will not do. You could go there directly and give whatever message you think best. Or you could send her a dream by way of Irem. You've heard they make dreams there. Or perhaps there is a way by the Isle of Cats. Not that that would be an easy or sensible method. I mean, yeah. I don't know about the Isle of Cats. What would we do there? Like, have a bee sting us, extract the memory, turn it into honey? That doesn't sound particularly pleasant. Irem, maybe, but I don't know what I would require for that. But if we can create one of these needle things, maybe this is where we finally can use the song. Grow the brother's regret into a spine. You grow a spine just next to your thumb. Okay, we just do it. It is challenging to clip off, but you manage, and then file down the spur. There is a little blood and some itching, and the spot remains sensitive. Okay, grew regret into a spine form. Share the brother's regret with the first mate. Surely we will actually keep it though, right? It's not going to use it up. They're curious. Sharing the spine would relinquish one means of delivering the regret to the sister, but there are other ways. Oh, no, why would we do that? Eavesdrop. Consume a needle. Why would we do this? Also, are these actually physical objects that we possess? No. I guess they're listed in the journal. This place is extremely confusing. But we technically got what we came for. I mean, I have this needle thing. That should be proof enough. We can take this now and bring it back to Hunter's Keep and fulfill this quest for what it's worth, as far as I understand. But, of course, now I'm curious what sharing it with the first mate instead is going to do for us. Presentation with a flourish. The first mate accepts it with gratitude and consumes it, their eyes slipping gratefully shut. The two of you have become equals. Okay. Afterwards they say, "You do not ask me about the captain. Someone must ask about his wound, or he will never be healed." Okay. Knowledge of the first mate's question quality is now 1. Ponder how best to deliver. No. Consume a needle. What was that about the captain? Consume a needle. Memories layered with memories. You remember a woman who had persuaded herself into a marriage. She never fell in love with someone else, or betrayed her husband, or did any of the usual things. She lived a dusty life and wondered whether she even had any appetites to satisfy. Faintly overlying this is the first mate's reaction, pity, annoyance, and a tangle of feelings about a different broken relationship between themselves and the wounded captain. Okay. Observe the first mate with the pilgrim. The postulant submarine has come straight from the hut. Okay, and the consume 1 needle option is now gone. I mean, since this only popped up now, I guess I'm gonna try this. Oh, and I gain 4 more needles. Interesting. Crewmates abandoned. The man is grim and short-spoken. The first mate takes him below. Attendants set his hand on the bare face of Egil. He closes his eyes. In time, he whimpers. Now and then, he sings snatches of a drowny tune. He refuses to take a rest afterwards, but gets back into his submarine and floats off. The first mate descends to the engine room. Okay. Well, I guess we'll consume 3 needles then. See what that does for us. A piquant blend. The first mate has selected 3 particular flavors for you. Here is a prisoner's breath of fresh air after 50 years in the cell. Here's a proud father summoned to court in a sordid case against his son. Here's lavender water on the widow's kerchief and the square of light on the wall of an empty bedroom. Learn some of the deeper secrets. And that did not unlock anything new. I mean, the other option requiring a port story is now gone, so I guess if I really wanted to, I could, wait a minute and maybe do that. What was that? Eavesdropping something. And maybe gain enough needles eventually to consume 10 at once. But of course, as usual, I have absolutely no idea what I'm even doing this for. Also, honestly, I don't really feel like going to any great lengths, as in going all the way to Irem, to then probably only learn that I need some more materials that I don't currently have in order to create that dream, or head back to the Isle of Cats and, have to pay some sort of personal price, perhaps, when I could just take the needle and bring that back and finish my quest that way, right? Also, out of curiosity, what does this do exactly? I mean, it's going to reduce my memories of Nook. No, Taste of Freedom quality. Anything else? A release. You press the needle to your palm. There's a drop of blood, a jolt of pain. The needle grows. For the first time since leaving Nook, you can feel the pressure of your own blood straining against your skin. Intolerable, hot, too hot, bursting in the air. A fantasy, a future. We will taste this. The pressure under your skin seeps away like the slow deflating of a balloon. It leaves a hole in your mind, already folding in on itself and becoming impossible to remember. Okay, lost 1 memory of Nook For a total of 3, lost 5, taste of freedom, and some terror, and that's that. Weird. They even have a shop here. Interesting. Of course, they don't sell any Sunless fruit. Why would they? They could sell my torpedo components, which I'm never going to use. Can I sell them elsewhere? I don't even know. But, I mean, that's not really very useful right now. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could advance our relationship, I guess, with the first mate by sharing the brother's regret with him. But why would we possibly do that when we specifically have a quest to bring this back to his sister? That just doesn't seem to make any sense unless we somehow magically know that we want something from this guy, from this mate. So let's instead just eavesdrop in the kettle, I guess, and see what that does for us. Attentive listening. You hear the tomb colonist and the surprisingly strong old woman bickering over a hand of cards. The captain complaining about the bandage sticking to his thigh. You hear us. The scrape of metal as a new submarine docks. Your own crew shivers. No, what? Your own crew talking about how the spines give them the shivers. Your crew hears us too. The first mate is talking to the captain in a low voice about what they found in their last exploration. There are fresh needles in the collection. Okay, that gave us 2 needles, 20 fragments. We could go ahead and consume 3 needles right away. And we have 4. We could pick both of these options, but that just doesn't do anything for us right away. Oh, interesting. And now that we've consumed 3 needles, the 1 needle option is also gone. Yeah, okay. I remain just as confused by this place, but that's fine. I'm gonna sell all of these, because why not? And just move on? Actually, I mean, it's too late now, I suppose. Unless I'm willing to go all the way back to my previous save file. But let me just quickly confirm that I can indeed get a Sunless fruits more or less more or less guaranteed at the Mangrove College. Or maybe somewhere else nearby, but yeah. Okay, we're currently on our way from Egel to the Otter's room. And, well, there is good and bad news. The bad news is that you cannot just go ahead and pick Sunless fruit in the Mangrove College. You can acquire it in the Wispways, but of course you'd need candles for that and get the right events. There are a couple of different events that give you Sunless fruits, but yeah, it's still random. The good news, however, is that you can buy Sunless fruit in a couple of places, one of them being Port Carnelian, where we just left. So what I did was headed all the way over to Port Carnelian, bought a Sunless fruit for 250 echoes, and made my way back. So, here we are. It's obviously, yeah, well, it's kind of annoying, of course, very unfortunate that I just, you know, after carrying around those extra Sunless fruits with me for, I don't know, a dozen episodes or so, who knows, I just decided earlier today that now was the time to just sell them randomly for tiny amounts of echoes. And of course then moments later I actually ended up needing them. It's so typical. But it's fine. What's done is done. And thankfully I was able to fix the problem relatively easily. A gift? Oh, wait, these are new. Another gift. Are these rewards? Wait. Another gift. Shroom has something else for you? No more limbs? Seed now? Oh. Wait, these are both for exactly 7, which I have. Interesting. Experiment with your strange catch. Can't really do that. Hold on, though. I did just save, so what are these? A gift? Zico here. Shroom has something for you. Fell long ago, best elsewhere now. A raid-wrenched cinder. Ooh, interesting. Lost 7 propagation blemingans abroad. Oh, wait, what? The Shroomer won't touch it with her bare skin. Wise, nor should you. It scorched and twisted the fungus flesh that it lies on. Its cosmogone glow has dyed the air around it. Mother of Mushrooms is grateful, explains the Shroomer. You've cast her far. She gives you a jewel. Oh, thanks, I guess. That's worth 800 echoes. Hardly worth all the effort it took. Is that can't be all, though, that we get for spreading these blemigans around. Also, there was another option to choose from. Another gift. Okay, you lost 7 propagation. You now have 1 utter shroom sporule and gained iron. A fruit, a jewel, a tear? Leave this distinction to the botanists. It tastes a little like pine nuts. Why would I eat this? Something red. It twitches with uneasy life. Mother's egg, the Shroomer incants eagerly. Mother's fruit. Touch it, yes. It will make you strong as mother. Place it somewhere damp. One day, it will be daughter's. Do I want that? I mean, at least I get a stat increase out of it right away, for what it's worth. And it doesn't take up space. I know I've seen this somewhere before. Again, not the item itself, but a requirement for this item. Maybe somewhere to sell this. That's definitely more interesting than the, whatchamacallit, ray-drenched cinder that we've obviously had quite a few of at this point. Gather intelligence, I guess? I think yeah, this is the one where we got unlucky, or rather, where the first couple of times I just got some free blemigans. But the last couple of times I tried, I did not. So yeah, maybe that time's just over. Or I just got super unlucky, or who knows. Anyway, we have honey specifically. Okay, only 1. Which is technically all I need. And I brought 2. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just not handing them out quite as freely anymore. And I wonder now, since we've lost our propagation quality, as if we had never actually started propagating them, I suppose, if the places where we already delivered them will accept more now. That wouldn't really make sense, but there might be another 7 ports that blemigans can be brought to for another reward. Not that I know necessarily that I want to do that, but either way, we have the one that we need and an extra, but yeah, we can do this now. A cure for animescence. I have an idea, but I'm going to need flesh from chillier kingdoms, solace fruit from the melting isles where the mangrove college lies. Yeah, I mean, it is mentioned there, and you can acquire it there, but not quite easily. Anyway, and yes, more muter salt. I regret that it's not cheap. Well, go. Grim resolution. She returns from her workroom, eyes downcast. No, my blood still runs too hot. It will increase day by day, but I wonder if this matter of blood is the key. So this didn't even help. It cost me a secret as well. Wonderful. Scintillac and solace fruit. I have a theory about the properties of fluid light and their procession through the highways of the heart. Another secret, 1 scintillac and another solace fruit. Seriously. Okay. I mean, fine. I can acquire these things again, but it's really not a priority. I guess I'll take a note about it, and maybe also go ahead and acquire these things when I have my better engine. And getting around is hopefully going to be a little bit easier. Yeah. Okay, so that's... I mean, obviously there is no guarantee that this is actually going to be the final step in this quest, but, well, we'll deal with anything else if and when we need to, so... Scintillac... And 1 fruit. for the campaigner. Man, these notes are a mess. But they kind of work, so, you know, they get the job done, and that's all that counts. Well, at least we made some progress, I suppose. Still have this extra blem again, but yeah, I think we're gonna deliver that to... Well, we're gonna find some place to put it ashore. No doubt about that. I guess I'll just quickly check what this other shrimp sporiel can be used for, just so I know. Okay, so apparently this is a quest item for the ambition that I took on my very first captain, like where you want to find your father. Or it can be sold at Rosegate, that's where I saw it, for 750 echoes apparently. So technically the other option would have been more profitable, but oh well, not by that much. So, you know, if I remember, next time I'm in the area, I might go ahead and sell it. But if I don't, I don't. Okay. From here, well, from here we could just start heading into unknown territory. Originally I wanted to go along the coast. However, I actually want to return to the Colonnade because I have a Admiralty's commission for that place. I looked it up in my journal. Should have done that before, but yeah, I completely forgot about that it was about the Colonnade. I mean, not that that's much of a priority, but I also want to put a Blemmingen ashore either here or at the Ghent Pole, so that's a thing. I guess those are not really particularly urgent, so maybe I'll just start by heading down to Adam's Way, where we've been exactly once, I think. And yeah, see what we can do there. And, you know, also start filling in more of the map on the way there. Yeah. Previously started sailing around the other room and putting that entirely on the map. But on the way to Adam's Way, we can definitely uncover a little bit more. Okay. Oops. So I guess if we head straight down this way, straight south from here, should just uncover a few more squares. Maybe even run into something interesting. I guess we could send out some Z-Bats, because why not? No islands. Oh, you're a Republican Dreadnought. What Republic specifically? Have they spotted us or not? No, they've lost us. Okay. Kinda tanky. Tankier than I'm willing to deal with right now. Okay, before I dock, I wanna try and see if I can uncover this bit of the map here by almost running into the coast. Yes, that worked. Awesome. Near Adam's Way. All ships that approach Adam's Way are intercepted by the Gracious, the Presbytero's splendidly headdressed coast guards. A quaint but inviolable tradition governs entry. You must tell them one of three stories in return. In return, you will be permitted to spend a single day in the port. Oh, that... yeah. I vaguely remember. Okay, port report Mount Palmerston, unread log, or recent news, which I happen to have. It's not like I have any particular reason to be here, so I might not even want to do this necessarily. I guess the good news is that I can... why do I have the extra parabola linen? I think I just got that from a cache of curiosities, so I don't need that anymore. I mean, technically I need 5, but only when I can also get 5 Zoop. And I wonder if I should just sell this extra one just to free up the inventory. Yeah, I think so. Of course, and before I actually need a linen for something 10 minutes from now. But, you know, can't really worry about those things now, can I? Not any more than I already am. Gonna fill up on fuel. Although we might need that space sooner than I expect. Who knows? Let us save here and I guess use our news since we can, and see if we can do anything useful here. And if not, I guess I'm just gonna reload and move on instead. A new day. Is their interest strategic, or do they just enjoy hearing about London's miseries? Regardless, they permit you to dock. The day has just begun. In the town square, a yellow-robed priestess plants a seed in a bed of black soil. No sooner has she patted down the soil than a tiny shoot pokes forth. By mid-morning, it will be a sapling. By lunchtime, a budding tree. By the evening's end, it will wither and fall. You must be back on your ship before then. Right. Visit an exhibition of presbyterate curiosities. For the insignificant price of a single echo, the sober showman will lay the wonders of the elder continent directly at your feet. Were we here previously to retrieve something... something that we needed for Rosina's healing? Because this is where she was from, right? Oh, put a Blemmingen ashore. I mean... let's try. Okay. Then increase the propagation. Propagation Adam's Way. An ecstatic exit. The southern mountain heat seeps around the slopes of the hill. The soil of the Elder Continent is rich and strange. If the Blemmingen can survive in it at all, it should flourish. Or have we done this before? These do actually reset. Because I'm not entirely sure if I... This might seem familiar. Or it seems vaguely familiar, but it's also not the most interesting bit of interaction, so... I'm not entirely sure. Did it... Wait, what? Huh? Wait, how did that kick me out? No. That's not okay. What's up with that? I was gonna say, that didn't seem to advance time at all. And instead it just ended the day immediately? That makes no sense. Let's try that again. Assist at an NMS's hospital. Listen to a storyteller. Ignore the gaudy entertainments intended to defraud visitors. Pass the street hawkers. They will only tell you what you want to hear. Shun the tavern gossip, most of which is fabricated by the Mithridate office, the Prester's propagandists. I mean, I guess. Does this warn me about passage of time? Not at all. Oh. An avuncular broker has a commission. His client has a task of modest but scriptural significance. He is conducting interviews. Okay. We need to do this at stage 2. So let's go with the storyteller, I suppose. The buzzing of the bees. Climb the stairs cut into the hill. Sit at the foot of the bee-capped stone columns. They will shield you from the southern mountain heat. Be quiet, listen. Old storytellers share the shadow. The Prester is on the verge of declaring the Dawn Machine a blasphemy. London's bureaucracy is riddled with the children of the Thief of Faces. An expedition of foreigners recently put to shore to the west, then went south in search of the garden. They were discovered and given to the Red River. Okay. Oh, they gave me a port report. Interesting. And now we can do this. Possibly accept a new quest here. He meets you on the balcony of a shoreside coffee house. His handshake is effusive. His smile and cummerbund are broad. He urges you to squares of sticky baklava and a tiny glass of black coffee sweetened with a sprig of mint. Sweetened with mint? That's not really how mint works. I trust you won't mind answering a few questions, he asks, opening a notebook, to ensure we're on the same page, so to speak. The interview is scandalously personal. What business has he to ask such things? Answer truthfully, with a secret? Lie to him. Tough challenge. How dare you, sir? How very dare you? Let's try to lie to him. Come on. Good luck? Of course not. A pleasure to meet you. I'm sure we'll be in touch. That doesn't sound promising. Okay. I mean, I don't even know what I'm hoping to get from this guy. Catch a nut that falls from the tree of a single day. Picking them from a branch is forbidden, but fallen ones are useless. You'll need to intercept it between bow and ground. Bow and ground. Matter of luck. Fruitless. Welp. The branch is too far, the nut too small, your hand too slow. When it strikes the paved square, the nut bursts into a brief, pointless life. Thread-like shoots squirm out, groping for water. Desperate roots claw at a crack in the stone. It's no good. Its strength spent. The shoot browns, stiffens, and expires. And we get only a lamentable relic out of it. Attend a funeral feast. Okay, interesting. This one will actually take a port story as well. A public square, a gathering of the bereaved, uncannily cheerful. A table shining with cutlery, with china plates, tall glasses. The replete occupy lofty positions in the presbyter's military. Despite their sanguinary past, they dine with the presser and send their children to be educated at London's university. However, they maintain their tradition of eating their dead. The feasts are held in public. Here in a broad square stretches a splendid table. The departed was only a distant relative, some great aunt or second cousin, and the atmosphere is jolly. Servants carry the deceased over in steaming joints, cooked to perfect pinkness. A stately mourner stands already wobbly from wine. Shall I carve? Merely observe. Steal scraps from the table. Wait. I guess this is gonna make me unaccountably peckish. Accept an invitation to dine. Okay, only if I was already a cannibal. Sit at the table as a guest of honor. Also only if I was an experienced cannibal, I suppose. Interesting. Merely observe. Feasting. A plummy anthropologist cranes her neck for a better view. This isn't normal here, you know, she tells you, noticing your interest. The other nations of the presbyterate think they're crackers. Still, I bet the Prester finds them useful. The threat of imminent cannibalism must facilitate no end of diplomatic negotiations. A salt cellar passes along the table. Napkins dab at mouth corners. The anthropologist is warming to her subject. I hear the practice began with one of their forebears who sailed into the far north. I may have to take a trip that way, see what it's like for myself. Gained one terror, one tale of terror, one memory of distant shores. And that is that. I guess instead of returning to my ship, I can also put a Blemmingen ashore, which is going to end my trip the same way. Okay. I mean, interesting things, but I wonder what that nut would have been if I had managed to catch it. And, of course, what would have happened if I had successfully lied to the person. Yeah, I could use a secret, but honestly, I've been... not exactly running low. I've been using a bunch lately. But this does not strike me as the best possible use for a secret, is all. So if I can maybe do this better without using one. We'll see. Visit an exhibition of presbyterian curiosities. I don't know. Let's do that just so we experience everything. You head towards the bright tents, Lost One Echo. Oh, and that unlocks more options. Okay, I see. Grant your crew shore leave, visit the grotesquerie. A sign stands before the Crimson Tent. Today, behold a monstrous aboriginal of the Elder Continent, a disciple of the Thief of Faces. Attend the Cabinet of Curiosities. A sign outside reads, revealed for the first time innumerable mysteries of the interior, a profusion of presbyterate secrets to perplex and petrify. A case catches your eye. It is labeled The Covenant. Well, this is all very fascinating. Sure, the grotesquerie. Inside, the tent is gloomy. No candles, the showman warns in dolorous tones. We would not want to stoke its hungers. A shape stirs in the cage. 2 arms, 2 legs, a grey smock speckled with wax. It turns. Is that a mask? No, the opposite. A skinless face. Knotted, palpitating muscles. Those of you blessed with a pleasing mien should keep your faces beyond arm's length. You step back. Okay, Memory of Distant Shores, Tale of Terror, 50 fragments. Well then, the Cabinet of Curiosities. Wait. Sign outside. Mysteries of the Interior. A profusion of presbyterate secrets to perplex and petrify. A rusted sword catches your eye. Wait, this is different. What did the... previously it said something about a covenant? I don't know. Old oaths. A pitted sword rests on a stand. According to its brass plaque, legend and testimony from natives of good character claims that this was the sword with which the first Prester slew the king of the Replete. He then married their queen, subsuming the Replete into his realm. Records attest that the Prester ate only bread and cheese at his wedding feast. His bride and her relatives dined on their fallen king. Yes, okay, that matches with what I've learned about them. Tale of Terror, 50 fragments. A shining jewel catches your eye. Okay, so this just... Oh yeah, these both just change. I see. An example of the change. Those intemperate souls who dared improve on the Almighty's design. Behold, a practitioner of the shaping arts. Within, the showman is speaking as you enter. The arts concern themselves with the transformation of flesh, a prideful science. The Prester forbids its practice in the mountain's sight. This lady defied his prohibition. Behold the result. A figure sits on a chair in the middle of the tent. It mumbles a polite but indistinct greeting as the audience crowds around the edges. Its dress is faded at collar and cuff, but clean and fitted. The body within is uneven. One shoulder is high, the other low. Its spine bends like a crook. Its face is a knot of bubbled flesh, dark eyes gleaming in the mass. If you have the gumption, you may touch the lady's face. She is of a scholarly inclination and will not bite. She has learned her lesson. Yeah, thanks. I don't think so. An impossibility catches your eye. Another example of the change, those intemperate souls who dared improve. Behold, a gentleman in possession of a peculiar personal enhancement. Of what kind? No, let's take a look at the impossibility. Nourished. Here in a glass case a rose grows from a stone. The stone is real, the rose is real. What nourishes it? The sober showman peers over your shoulder. It was planted a furlong from the mountain and basked for a summer in its light. What need has it for water now, or air? I don't know. The same as any other plant. Enough distractions, apparently. Okay. I mean, that's all very fascinating, but... And yeah, I'm gaining a story here and some fragments there, but... None of this seems particularly amazing, if you know what I mean. Also, the episode is getting long, but... I mean, ultimately, do I want to stay here? Do I want to use my recent news here? I suppose why not? Unless, of course, I find myself needing it somewhere in one of the as of yet undiscovered places. I mean, either way, it doesn't seem like I can do anything particularly amazing here. Unless, of course, accepting that quest or succeeding... If it is a quest, I don't know. But succeeding in whatever that interviewer wants to do unlocks something more interesting. So let's try that again, I suppose. Listen to a storyteller. That gives me the port report. That's something, at least. Something palpable, you know? Avuncular broker. Come on, we can do this. Welp, we can do this eventually. It's a 40% chance. I've dealt with way worse game. Continue, go, continue, lie to him. Succeeded. Oh, cat, what is it? Who knows? A good impression. He seems immensely pleased by your answers. Capital. The task I have in mind demands someone of discretion, insight, and the ability to lie convincingly. I think we can do business. Okay. You may accept the broker's commission in Adam's way. Yes. He has a commission for you. Cool. Can I do that right now? Yes, apparently. Man, I was hoping to catch the falling nut, though. No more than 3. No more than 4. Okay, so I get a chance at this. Come on. Okay. Hold on a sec. Okay, so I succeeded in lying to the guy and catching the nut, apparently. 1 in the hand. An hour you wait, and another hour. In that time, nuts fall beyond your reach. You ignore them. Clack, clack, clack. There! A nut has fallen from a high limb. It ricochets from branch to branch as it falls. Your hand snaps out. The nut lands in your palm. Glossy, smooth, and brown. A number of passers-by cheer your catch. And it's just an outlandish artifact. Was it worth it? Not really, but we can now accept the commission. We'll see if that's gonna be worth it. He orders a plate of figs soaked in honey. Tell me, what do you know about the disciples of the Thief of Faces? Nothing. Doing the Prester's work. Or snuffers to children and Londoners. Awful creatures. Eat candles, steal faces. Erasing them is a sacrament. An associate of mine recently found one in Port Carnelian, but before he could expose it, he disappeared. Maybe the snuffer got him, or perhaps one of the port's spies. The place is stuffed with them. Your commission is to root out Port Carnelian's snuffer. Capture it, bring it back here. I'd like to ask it a question or two. He pops a fig into his mouth. Okay. Catch a snuffer in Port Carnelian. That's the first I hear of that kind of creature, but okay. We could attend the funeral feast again. We could take a look at the Animescence Hospital, which I don't know if I've done before. Now let's go with the funeral feast again. Merely observe, of course. For which we get a Tale of Terror, Memory of Distant Shores. Honestly, that's not amazing. Also, I'm gonna hold on to the Blemigan because I feel like we've done this before. I mean, I have a quest now. And I am going to return to Port Carnelian eventually to recruit the philanthropist's wife, who we still don't know. No, not the philanthropist's wife, the fierce philanthropist, Lytton's wife, who we still don't have a name for, actually, which is kind of weird, but okay. I guess it's maybe worth it. I don't know. I mean, I lost my secret, recent news, and I have a feeling like I'm gonna need that elsewhere, but you know, if I do, I guess I'll just have to pick up a new one and you know, and come back. It wouldn't be the first time I do a little bit of a, you know, of a detour in this game, to say the least. Anyway, yeah, from here on, next time we're gonna move along the coast from here into completely unknown territory. Isn't that exciting? Hopefully we'll find that King Eater's castle pretty soon and finally be able to construct that impeller. I don't know if that's going to happen next episode, but we're definitely going to run into something entirely new for the first time in a while, I guess. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting, actually. So, yeah, look forward to that. I am. And as always, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I shall see you real soon. Bye-bye.